been lucky enough to be spending nearly a month now in PlayStation VR2's virtual reality world, and a list of the best games so far is still on our minds. It's been a massive launch with some interesting titles that could be described more as experiences, a lot of older titles that have been updated with features only the PSVR2 can boast, and some brand new exclusives, which we talked about in Volume 1. But this list is still not exhaustive, but it's based on what we've played personally here at GodisaGeek.com and is ongoing. There's yet more corkers on this second list of best PSVR2 games already, and I've finally had the chance to play two of the biggest launch titles in Gran Turismo 7 and Resident Evil Village, so they're covered in this list too. Make sure you check out the first list and let's get going. What you have to say with Gran Turismo 7 is that it's a fully playable version of the game on PlayStation VR2. Yes, that's what we have. This game is basically like playing it on a huge cinema screen until the race starts, whereby you're put into the reasonably priced or not car of your dreams, with the opponents and tracks you'd have if you were playing it on just a TV. It's as fast as you like, responsive, and some of the hills you go over will have you leaving your lunch behind due to the camber of the road. It's exactly what I wanted, and aside from getting a wheel, it's the best VR racing experience you can have on a PlayStation 5, and easily one of the best PSVR2 games, as well as one of the best races this generation. There's little other to say than if you have PSVR2, play this game. An already great VR experience has been leveled up with Reloaded here. For those who don't know, this is a distillation of those arcade classics like House of the Dead, but in crystal clear PlayStation 5 virtual reality with haptic feedback on the triggers that makes you very scared when you're frantically reloading as a zombie approaches. A new art style, better visuals overall, extra levels, challenges, guns, perks, and everything you'd think a re-release should have. It's superb fun, and while it doesn't have the authentic voices, you won't care when you're shooting the shit out of zombies galore with a fully max upgraded pistol. This is one of the best PSVR2 games so far, and the one I keep coming back to. It's just that much fun. Bartender's intergalactic bartending offers something a bit different. Closer to the job simulator games that used to showcase VR back in the early days, this one puts you behind the bar at your local, if the local was in space and you were serving sort of aliens. All manner of drinks need making, but you'll be cleaning glasses, blending fruit, adding carbonation, fizz, and mixing everything up. You'll even have to go and make your own tools, like the juicer with your welding station. It's good fun, but it does need a little bit of tweaking to get your positional stuff right, and needs a bit more room for a stationary VR game than I'd like. If you like titles like Vacation and or Job Simulator, this will be right up your street, and has a good feel to it with plenty of jobs to keep you going for some time. The amount of work that's gone into No Man's Sky in VR is just astounding. You think it would be like any other first-person port of a game, but Hello Games has added so much to No Man's Sky to make it feel like it was always this way. Getting hold of things requires picking them up. Getting into a car or ship means learning how to control it physically, and even getting out means you have to manually open the door. There's a satisfying feel to the multi-tool, and the haptics on the headset will also vibrate when needed. This new version looks stunning, and flying around above your base has never looked so good in virtual reality. The work the developer continues to do on this one never ceases to impress, and it's a game you could lose a silly amount of time to, even in VR. While Resident Evil Village isn't the best Resi that Capcom's ever produced, it was a stellar first-person entry. Here, the horror is right in your face, and it's terrifying. In some ways, this makes it harder to play, holding a torch and sneaking through dark spaces, hearing enemies nearby forcing you to feel on edge almost all the time. Weapons feel tactile and have individual reloading methods closer to the real world, and while that might slow you down, the one-to-one aiming method means that even the squirrely werewolves are easy to track and get headshots in on. There's some peculiarities when it comes to the scenes that were designed where control is taken away, and you can offset this by viewing them in a cinematic mode instead of VR first-person viewpoint. But aside some oddities mostly early on with hand positions, collision detection, your arms being weird floating tools, and weapons warping back to your inventory, you get used to it all pretty quickly. Resident Evil Village is another virtual home run for Capcom series, just like Resident Evil 7 was. Oh, but why it's a free DLC item instead of a simple update, I'll never know. So there you have it. After spending so much time in PSVR2 that our heads hurt, that's the best of the bunch so far, Volume 2. Make sure you read or watch our full PSVR2 review, as well as our Horizon Call of the Mountain review, and check out the rest of our channel to see these games in video format, and of course the articles on our website with lovely images of all the lovely games. But do tell us in the comments what you've been enjoying in PSVR2. Are you hyped for the next Supermassive Games one? What are you playing? What are you wanting to play? Let us know, and we'll see you in the next video.